Finger Family.
Alice in Wonderland. It was a high summer noon. Alice and her sister were sitting in a meadow studying their books. They were very happy indeed. All of a sudden, a white rabbit ran past the sisters. It had a coat and a hat on. Pulling out a pocket watch, the rabbit looked at it closely and shouted, "Dear, oh dear, I'm getting late." "How strange a rabbit!" exclaimed Alice. Unable to control herself, she ran after the rabbit rashly. In the twinkling of an eye, the rabbit entered a hole, followed by Alice close at its heels. While going down the hole, Alice saw a number of amazing things along the walls of the hole. These things included map, books, mirrors, toys, teapots, fruit, plates, spoons, forks, and cups. Alice was even more surprised, so much so that she couldn't help exclaiming, "How curious!" Sliding down through the hole, Alice finally landed on a soft bed of leaves. She looked about herself in wonder. Alice looked for the rabbit and found it rushing through a tiny door which opened into a hallway. Alice followed the rabbit up to the door. "Good God! The door is too narrow for me to get through. What should I do now?" said Alice to herself in despair. Feeling helpless, Alice burst into tears that trickled down her cheeks to fall on the floor. She kept on weeping till the floor all about her was quite wet with her tears. Suddenly, Alice raised her head and noticed a bottle lying on the floor. There was a label on the bottle which read, "Drink me." Without thinking over the matter, Alice went up to the bottle. She put it to her lips and mugged up its contents in no time. To her utter dismay, Alice began shrinking in size. Soon she was the fit size to get through the tiny door in order to reach the hallway. Feeling wildly happy, Alice dashed through the door, but only to fall into salt water with a splash. And lo! She was in neck-deep water of a pool which had been formed with her own tears which she had shed earlier. "No, no, I don't want to be drowned," cried she. "Then swim this way out," said a friendly dodo. Just as she got out, the white rabbit again ran past her, saying, "How late I'm getting! The queen will certainly have me beheaded." Then, seeing Alice standing there, the rabbit cried, "Quick! Run to my house and get my gloves and my fan as well." The rabbit's house was not far away, so Alice was soon back with its gloves, the fan, and a bottle that she had spotted there. Thinking that something strange must occur, she drank it, and lo, she began to grow, and her head hit the ceiling with a boom. "Kill this giantess!" shouted the white rabbit to his friends. And all of them began to throw pebbles at Alice in order to hit her. But luckily the pebbles turned into tea cakes, and so she was not hurt. Instead, Alice started eating the tea cakes, and as she ate up the cakes, she grew small enough to escape from the white rabbit's house. Wandering in the woods, Alice came by a large mushroom. A green caterpillar with a blue hat on was sitting on it. "Who are you?" asked the caterpillar. "I've been so many sizes that I can't say who I am." "Still, I'm not my own size," said she. "Well, one side of this mushroom will make you taller, but the other will make you shorter," disclosed the caterpillar. Alice ate a bit of a piece of the mushroom from either side in turn. As a result, she first shrank and then grew. Lo! Her neck stretched out and her head reached to the level of the bird's nest. "A serpent! Be off, you rascal!" shrieked the bird. "Oh my God!" exclaimed Alice, and she again bit the mushroom. Luckily, she was her own size now. "Where are you going?" asked a cat that was sitting on the branch of a tree. "I can't say anything till I get somewhere. Let's see where fate takes me to," replied Alice. "Still, I would tell you that the hatter lives this way while the March rabbit that way," said the cat. Saying so, the cat began to disappear her tail and then her back till she couldn't be seen. How odd things are occurring, thought Alice. Alice now went to the Hatter's house, who was taking tea along with the March Rabbit. A dormouse was also sleeping near them. Seeing Alice, the Hatter shouted, "There is no room for you at all." "Why, there is plenty of room," retorted Alice. Just as Alice sat down, the March Rabbit offered her tea. So she filled a cup for herself and put a cake on her plate as well. Seeing this, the Hatter shouted, "Let us change places." The places having been changed, Alice found herself in front of an empty cup. Just then, she noticed a door in a tree trunk and entered it. Soon she reached a garden where she saw two gardeners painting white roses with red paint. "Why are you doing that?" asked Alice. "We want to plant a red rose bush," replied they. "And if the Queen finds it out?" asked Alice. "Off with their heads," said the Queen, who had suddenly reached there. It was time for the Queen to hold her court. The Jack of Hearts was on trial for stealing the Queen's tarts. The first witness was the Hatter, who was told to take off his hat. But he said, "I won't. It isn't mine." "Off with his head," shouted the Queen. "A very curious trial indeed," grumbled Alice. Alice was feeling very uneasy indeed. She was about to say something when the Dormouse elbowed her and said, "Don't push at me." "I can't help it as I'm growing," replied Alice. "Anyone taller than a mile must leave the court at once," declared the king, and all eyes turned to Alice, who knocked over the jury box. "Off with her head," the Queen ordered her guards, who rushed to surround Alice. "I care a fig for your order. You are no more than a deck of cards," thundered Alice. Hearing this, all the cards rose into the air and flew around Alice. She screamed in anger at the top of her voice. "Wake up, Alice. You have had quite a long nap," said her sister, shaking her by the shoulder. Alice woke up and looked about in wonder. She had realized that she had a curious dream. So she said to her sister, "Do you know, I have had a wonderful dream during my nap?" And then Alice described her adventures in her dream, to the utter amazement of her sister.
If you like the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel by hitting the subscribe button below.